They can smell the depression and the fear and the frustration, and it doesn't smell good.
You think I'm cute?
It's over for you. If you go further down that road, it's only pain for you. When you have a mission, you'll be immune to depression. If a female was giving me attention right now, I'd be like, what am I doing wrong? If she's 23 and she's a teacher and she's nagging you about money, I don't know if you're gonna be turning to EVROPA with her. If you think the problem is them, the problem's you. Bye-bye.
Should I just go out and bang a bunch of women to get it out of my system?
What a rush, bro.
What happens is you get it in your system.
Yeah.
You are creating like a psychic bond with that person. There's no such thing as like consequence-free, empty sex.
If you were in love with her, you wouldn't be sending $40 to ask me what to do about it. Get rid of the apps.
You're surrounded by low expectations and like safety.
How do you even meet a girl if you don't have apps, though?
Alcohol is cool, but have you ever had someone care about you? Me neither.
I am 31, successful lover boy, addicted to dating unstable cutie super sweetie girls who ruin my life. I never feel more alive, loving and sexing them all, and I want to spend money on them.
What a rush!
How do I become more icy, cold, and gangster and be less addicted to this female attention?
What a rush, bro. That's a childish, immature thing. You gotta outgrow that. It's tough because the thing is, the quality of women that you come across on these dating apps is like you find such garbage that it makes you think that all women are garbage. You're for sure not gonna find a girl that's worth wifing up on one of these whole apps, unless you find one that's just like hasn't been doing it for a year or whatever.
Someone tweeted something that was like, should I just go out and bang a bunch of women to get it out of my system? And the person tweeting said, that's not what happens. What happens is you get it in your system. Yeah. Once you start getting like searching for like sexual fun, when a man puts it inside a woman's thing, you are creating like a psychic bond with that person. There's no such thing as like consequence-free, empty sex. That's not a real thing. Just realize that there is no such thing as consequence-free sex. If you go out and do one of these girls, you're gonna look back 10 years later and be like, okay, you're not gonna be able to shake it off and like forget about it. Trying to a lot of girls, it probably means that you have some issue, like some psychological issue. Like I think it's trying to prove something to your dad, like trying to prove your masculinity or your manliness or whatever.
What are you addicted to female attention for? Who gives a shit? If a female was giving me attention right now, I'd be like, what am I doing wrong? Are my pants too tight? What am I doing wrong to attract female attention? I get so much female attention. What's it gonna do for you, man? It's not gonna do anything. That does nothing for your bottom line. It's not helping. All you need is the attention of the right one. But that's different from being a playboy. That stuff it's not good. It doesn't go anywhere good. You gotta want something more than like these empty relationships.
I am moving to Europe in a few days. I planned this for a long time and was going there to marry my girl. But now that probably isn't happening. It's too late to cancel now. Any advice? I am rich now from the VA. Thank you to all the taxpayers in this chat.
Don't sweat a girl for 1 second for any reason. There's no valid reason to ever be getting bent out of shape over a girl. It's just a total waste of time. It's a total waste of thought, energy. If you think the problem is them, the problem's you. The problem is always you, and that you're not working hard enough, you don't have enough going on, you're not doing enough to better yourself or make money or whatever. The problem is always you. The girl can go right in the toilet.
I'm an accountant at a Big 4 firm. My girlfriend's a teacher. I live frugally and she wants to live lavish. I set boundaries on money, but it feels like she expects handouts if I put a ring on it. What do I do?
That's a problem right there. How old are you? How old is she? Says, I'm 25 and she's 23. Working hard to stack up my money and save to buy a house soon. I would say this, if you're 25, if you find the right girl, by all means, lock her down. Be fully serious. Obviously, there's all this anti-natalism propaganda, anti-relationship, anti-normalcy propaganda, and the pushback to that is find your Aryan girl in a wheat field. And there's if you're not white, there's an Andrew Tate, whatever, a sort of the version of this for the guy that's the Pakistani guy or whatever. We're all looking for this like return to normalcy, this return to like nuclear family. So the pushback is like, just be normal, marry her, dude. If you're 25 and you don't have the one, You should not be thinking about locking it down, all that shit. Just do not. You don't need to be thinking about that pressure. Okay, if you're 25, if you're in high school and you find the perfect girl, if you're high school sweetheart, if you're soulmates, go for it by all means. But if you're 25, she's 23 and she's a teacher and she's nagging you about money, I don't know if you're going to be returning to Evropa with her. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like get this fictional shit, whether it's Netflix Black Mirror fiction or whether it's some right-wing guy on Twitter fiction. If she's not a perfect blonde virgin in a sundress, if she's in fact a sort of semi-nagging, chubby teacher who doesn't understand money and yet pushes back on whatever your money moves and decisions are, then just treat it like that.
Met a girl on Hinge, got her number, and she immediately started talking about how her ex abused her. It's so over. Red flag.
Yeah, I'm sorry that happened to you. That's a letdown. I know how hard it is to get to the getting their number phase. But if a girl if a girl brings up their ex once, you say this: I don't want to hear about your ex.
Yeah.
Period. I'm not your emotional tampon. You have to go to great lengths for me to start acting like your emotional tampon. So as far as your ex goes, I don't fucking care. Talk to your girlfriends about that. And if she does it again, that's a deal breaker. There's nothing that makes that. There's a lot of stuff like this where you really have to have discipline because they're so pretty. The emotional validation is so good.
And don't use the abusive ex as an opening to start shitting on the ex to further think you're grabbing her. That's a tactic that a lot of people do that.
50 things like this where if you're on the lookout, you have to be on the lookout for them, and you have to lay the law down. First time it happens. No, don't come to me with that. I don't care. I don't want to hear it. And if it happens again, you have to cut ties with them. Because what will happen is if you go further down that road, it's only pain for you. It's only pain for you. It's really hard when you're in your 20s. You really want to get put. Finally, I have this beautiful thing I want to take care of. Finally, there are certain things where if she does it, you have to let her go. And if you don't, it is only pain for you, and you're going to lose her in the end anyway. You better not be trauma dumping on her or any other female. If a girl broke up with you, don't whine and complain about it. Just suck it up, man. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the party. Shit happens, okay? But do not go around social. I'm on Discord. Don't go on Discord or in someone's DMs or whoever. I got broken up with today. It was terrible. Girls are flaky. They're they're like the wind. Some of them are not for you. That's just how it is, man. So figure out what you need to change about yourself and get to work. You probably need some more muscles, I'm guessing. How do I get a girl and get myself out of depression?
Yeah.
Listen. You're not gonna get a girl, okay? Nobody wants a guy that's like desperate. As soon as you start asking about girls, you're done.
Yeah, you got to stop thinking about the girl.
Yeah, man. You have to find a mission. When you have a mission, you'll be immune to depression, and girls will eventually flock to you. But if you're saying, how do I get a girl? It's not going to happen because you're already in hell. You're already in a dark place, and they don't want that. Girls want to have fun. They want sexy. They want alpha Chad. They want walking with confidence. They don't want, how do I get a girl? So it's over for you.
They can smell it.
They can smell the depression and the fear and the frustration, and it doesn't smell good. You don't want a girl that's fat, ugly, and has had a bunch of partners. Girls don't want a guy that's desperate, lonely, needy. It's not going to happen. So you have to go around the problem. You have to circumvent the problem. The only way through is around. You're 25, so you're not a fully formed man yet. You won't be until you're 30. That's why for a lot of people, it's a mistake to even think about this like serious relationship stuff for men until you're 30 or until you at least feel like you're a fully formed human. 25 is the age where your car insurance starts to cost less because the car insurance companies know that your brain is no longer swimming with hormones that make you want to drive 120 miles an hour on, back roads, right? Like just chemically, you're at that point now where you're going from boyhood to manhood. That point, which is, it should be earlier, but it's delayed because society is super gay and there's atrazine in the water and all this other stuff. But yeah, you're at the cusp of manhood. You're not a fully formed person. in all likelihood. If you were in love with her, you wouldn't be sending $40 to ask me what to do about it.
Yeah.
So goodbye.
do it.
Bye-bye. That's not a knock at you for asking for advice. It's just that's a factual piece of information. If I was in love with someone, I wouldn't be asking Tim Heidecker or Eric Wareheim, what should I do about that? So when that happens, just know that happened. Like, the answer is in the question.
Going out and banging a bunch of chicks is not what makes you masculine. That does not. It's like it correlates. Like, it has there a lot of a masculine, like, alpha male can get more women than like a pathetic incel. But there's a correlation there. But it doesn't mean that the banging is the causation. It's not. It's like a symptom, and it's just not. It's not a good thing. It's not something you should pursue. You're probably not going to find the one when you're 20 years old, unless you're like a Christian, like you find somebody that's, the girl in my high school sweetheart. If that's the case, go hog wild. But if you're like any of us, some lost guy with no connections, no solidity or foundation or whatever, do whatever in your 20s, but be open to like real connection, what you want, because life gets very difficult. Like, it's pretty hard. When you're 18, you got all these security systems around you. Like, even if you don't have parents that love you, you still have like high school, college, very low expectations. You're surrounded by low expectations and like safety. And when you get to be like 30 and 40 years old, that's not the case. And you start, you'll probably at some point you'll start getting health problems. Life will throw you a curveball. You'll have some kind of issue that you need help with. And what you want is a partner to support you and like complement your skill set. Like, if you can't do administrative, you can only do some other type of work. You want someone that can do administrative work, who can handle paperwork, who can deal with hospital bills, etc., car insurance, that type of thing. Like, you want someone who complements your skill set and is not a whore and is like a trustworthy person, because you lose interest in it. It stops being like the most amazing thing in the world. It gets trumped by having someone who will make life less hellish by their presence. Someone that makes you happy. That's what you want. I've never met anybody who had this experience where like a really hot girl also cooked for them and made their life less miserable. Yeah. I've never seen that. This kid on Instagram that I was talking to, his girl was like incredibly hot. She was like a human Barbie doll type thing, and he was just like telling me like how much of a miserable like whore, how like their apartment was like covered in cash and dog shit and like pill bottles and stuff, and like it was just like he'd be better off living in Afghanistan than dating this like mental patient person. A lot of these people belong in a mental institution too. If you saw something with like sexy tits and like big orangutan lips, what if I came up to you and I was wearing a doctor's lab coat and a stethoscope and I said, this person belongs in a mental institution. They belong locked up in a padded cell would be the safest place for this person in a straitjacket. Are you sure you want to create a legally binding problem for yourself by sticking your in her and sending her a bunch of texts that are going to be seen in court or by the police because you raped her? Like, come on, man. Just imagine just take 5 seconds and picture if this person wasn't hot, what would I think of them? Oh, I think it's a homeless person asking me for $5 for crack. Like, basically the same thing. Like, the homeless lady that hits us up for money that in the parking lot?
Yeah.
What if she was smoking fucking hot with huge tits?
I'd move in with her.
Me too.